ドジャースの大谷翔平は日本時間13日、本拠地で行われたロイヤルズ戦に1番 DH で先発出場しました。この日は逆転ツーランを含む4打数2安打を記録し、2試合ぶりのマルチ安打をマーク。チームの3連勝に貢献しました。技術とパワーが詰まった一撃には、相手側の実況陣も驚きを隠せませんでした。ロイヤルズ放送局、ロイヤルズ TV で解説を務めた元ヤクルトのレックス・ハドラー氏も、大谷に本塁打を浴びた瞬間、脱帽する様子を見せました。また試合前には、ベッツがポッドキャストのインタビューに出演。大谷がオールスターゲームでスクーバルと話している映像が出回っていますが、あれは勧誘していたんですか？とインタビュアーから質問され、この話題について回答しています。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
One and only Mookie Betts is our guest, brought to you by Corona. Find your playa on the Peterson Money Show live with a live but very respectful, almost frightened, reverent audience. Have we seen such reverence from a crowd? It's a really nice thing to see and deserved for Mookie Betts. The other night I heard that you were on the road in Arizona and you saw in the distance David Vassegh and the Clubbies sitting at a table, and a classy guy like Mookie Betts, most of us would want to do what? If you saw, I don't know what the Clubbies are like, but if you saw Vassegh, you'd want to go flip the table. But instead, what did Mookie do? He sent them a giant platter of churros in Arizona. Talk about just being that guy on the road. And were you that guy always when you were younger? Or, when did you become proprietary in those kind of ways?
You use some big words, by the way. You really do. You're good at it. No, I think it's just learned. Somebody did it for me when I was younger, and so now it's just little gestures. I mean, I don't pay any attention to it. I'm just sitting and saying thanks. Plus, those guys work so hard, especially the Clubbies. I mean, they're
not Dave.
Dave. He does, but those guys work so hard. They do everything for us, and so just some churros is like literally the easiest thing in the world. So
when we mentioned it coming in back-to-back World Series champs, thinking about your 2024 postseason, did you feel that coming? Are there things that you can take from each postseason when you go back and look to see how those playoff runs went and try to figure something out, unlock something? Like what do you remember about that? I think it might have been it's probably your greatest postseason ever, right? That run.
Yeah. They're all so different, and it's hard. I just know in the postseason it gets really hard. You're playing the best teams and then the best pitching. And I think I was talking to our hitting coach, and the average fastball now is like 94 point whatever, and in playoffs is 97. So it just gets harder, and game planning gets harder, and everything gets harder. And so sometimes it's just about getting hot at the right time. There's no real explanation for how that works. And so I did in 24, but historically I haven't been great in playoffs, and I don't necessarily know why. But I'm happy I did then, and we can see if we can do it again.
When you were in here before we got this thing rolling, I heard you talking about the guitar and playing the guitar. A lot of people talk about music and therapeutic. Is it a challenge thing for you that you want to master it? Is it something that brings you peace? Is that your playa? Like what is it that does for you?
It's definitely part of my playa. My dad gave me his guitar, one of his guitars, a couple years ago, and it was before I started playing. And when he gave it to me, I was like, well, what am I going to do with it? And I was talking to my wife, and I was just like, well, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play it. And since then, I called a good friend of mine named Ernest, he's on tour and whatnot, and he connected me with his guy. And I take lessons at least once a week now, virtual lessons. And I'm really just want to get good at it. It's something that after games when I go home, I can't bowl. It's too late to bowl. I'm tired. Don't want to play golf at night. So I just I play the guitar. And actually now I want to get better at it just because I play the guitar for my kids to go to sleep.
Oh, that you serenade them to sleep? Just the guitar?
So not plugging in the air.
Yeah.
Not shredding.
Not shredding. No, just little soft
acoustic chords,
soft little lullabies and whatnot that they go to sleep.
You might want to wind down with a movie. like Kingpin or the Big Lebowski. The one and only Mookie Betts, hero to us all, is our guest, and we're really happy to have him. It feels like every year, I mean, since you've been on the Dodgers and when you came, I remember the night Matt and I were doing the radio show. There's some kind of celebration. You know, Ohtani signing, Roki signing, Yamamoto. The Scooble trade was a big celebration in the streets in L.A. What's he like, and what's it like to compete with a guy like that? So
He's awesome. He's awesome. I got to talk to him a little bit during the All MLB Awards, and I really got a feel for who he was. And then when he came over, I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it, his intensity, especially when he's pitching. But when he's not pitching, yeah, he's just hanging out. He's just a dude. You know, he's just a dude. He enjoys being around the guys. He enjoys competing in whatever it is, whether it's lifting weights or whatever. You can just see that his fire. He's just lit with that, and I think that's what makes him so good. And I'm glad he's on our team.
Is there I mean, it feels like you guys that the Dodgers recruit themselves. I mean, clearly with the winning and everything that surrounds us right now. But when you mention MLB awards and like there were some videos floating around of you in the past talking to guys at All-Star games, Ohtani talking to him at the All-Star game. Are you recruiting, or are you guys just kind of shooting it?
Nah, yeah, I don't know why that keeps. Like, are we supposed to not talk to anybody or whatever? You know, like it's just a conversation. You know, we just talk. We don't ever. No, I don't do that. I'm not recruiting, like you said. I mean, I don't even have nothing to do with that. You know, I can't even. That's Andrew and those guys. And so, no, I'm just talking. And these are my peers. These are essentially the guys I'm doing life with. You know, I'm going to be with these guys for 20 years, and so they just become friends, and conversations are conversations. But never am I trying to recruit somebody to come to be a Dodger. I mean, either you want to be or you're not.
75 with a light breeze in L.A. today. I don't know. Overall, you guys have had so much success, and it's been so much fun to watch the team grow over the years and be what it is today. How do you think you'll remember these times? You know, I mean, because look back to 2018, it feels like a really long time ago. Yeah. And, I mean, you were the toast of baseball, and here you guys are still doing it. What do you think your perspective will be?
I truly don't know, but I think I'll be happy. I think I'll be happy, and I'll be able to look back and say, like, I got an opportunity that most people don't get, and that's really just to win every year. I remember when I signed here, I told Andrew and the owners, like, you got to promise me that we're going to have a chance to win every year. And they promised, and they've held up their promise, and they've kept adding, and I think you know, this stretch of my years that I get to play, I think I'll always remember, just because I actually legitimately got a chance to win every year, and now I have a chance to be in the history books. And so, I mean, my cousin played in the big leagues, and he never made postseason. So for me to be able to, I've only missed postseason twice, and that's a blessing in itself. And so I'll definitely be happy with the career I've had.
So much for the villains of baseball, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Seem very likable.
It doesn't really feel like you guys don't really fit the villain bill.
Yeah.
You know, how do you process that, or you just shrug it off, or?
Yeah, we just shrug it off, because it's like, I mean, if you go around and look, all the teams, they like talking to us. You know, we enjoy when people get on base. We're talking, laughing. When we go to all MLB awards or anywhere, like we're talking to guys. And so there's no bad dudes out there. So being the villains for what, I don't fully know, but
winning,
I mean, it is. Yeah, I guess it is. Were we supposed to lose? I don't know. So it is what it is.
So whenever this happens, I don't know, 15 years from now, and everyone here is sitting in the stands, we got our Corona, and we're enjoying the evening, and number 50 is being retired up there. Do you have a reel in your brain of like what plays would be running behind you on Diamond Vision? Are there moments that you can remember that just immediately jump to mind that you can think about?
I mean, maybe. I mean, not all. I think I don't ever like take a second to step back and look at what I've done, maybe because I'm in it. And so I think when I'm done, I'll actually be able to turn my brain off and then look back. But off the top of my head, probably in the 2020 World Series in the bubble, I made and right there was some good plays that I made, and
So you went defense first.
Defense first, yeah. Hitting, I mean, it's kind of here and there. You'll have a big moment. I mean, it is what it is. But I feel like for me, most of them are going to be on the defensive end, and you know, kind of. I feel like I've changed the game the most on that side of the ball.
Change the game for sure. Mookie, tell us about the sweet jersey. I would have worn mine, but it was stolen from me by my son. But it is pretty sweet, the La Playa jersey.
Yeah, the La
and
Playa
it's got the bowling balls on the
over
side.
here.
It's
Yeah,
very, very cool.
It's basically a representation of me. I forgot to put the guitar on there, but yeah, I got my bowling, I got golf, and really those are the main things that I do to chill. You know, I mean, I'm learning to enjoy the beach. My wife enjoys going to the beach, but I'm so active. Like when I go to the beach, I think of beach volleyball or, you know, playing football or something on the beach. But you definitely getting the bowl and getting to play golf is like going to the beach for me. It's I can go chill and get my mind right for whatever it is, or get a little competitive edge out for whatever it is there, and then yeah, I can really just be out there all day or in the lanes all day and just doing nothing but doing something.
I'll wrap with this then. You mentioned the guitar. You said you'd like to have had it on there,
Yeah.
but you forgot. So, like, I'm just trying to envision you. Like, after the kids go to bed, do you go downstairs and, like, plug in and, like, you're working on the Purple Rain solo or something like that?
No, I won't do that. I really am just my goal is to play at the All MLB Awards this year, play a little song or something. I don't sing though. That's the only thing. So
You get Barry Zito.
He'll sing.
Yeah,
but we
probably
wouldn't
not
recommend
well.
that. Yeah, we would not recommend that.
as long as it's not me singing, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I really would like to play some gigs or do something, just because I love music, and I've really grown to love playing the guitar.
Also, as you mentioned, gave an update on Shohei Ohtani, who has continued playing catch and moving into another step of his throwing progression.
Shohei did some dry throws off the bullpen mound yesterday. Is that a sign he's getting closer to doing real throws from that?
It is, which is great. I don't know, when that's going to take place, but I do think that we should all be encouraged that, throwing out 200 plus feet yesterday, and then doing the dry throws, as you mentioned, and then, probably the next progression is getting on the mound.
Once he starts getting off the mound again, is it going to be like a series of bullpens and then live PT and then kind of bringing them back in games? But I think kind of like you guys did last year.
Yes, I would say yeah. I don't know how many bullpens, don't know how many lives, but I would say the rehab games is going to be major league games.
On both Monday and Tuesday here at Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, Shohei Ohtani, he came out here. He was able to do some long toss and play catch. He's now essentially out to about 200 feet. So in that aspect, he's in a very good spot. And then yesterday, after he played catch, he went into the bullpen. He did about 5 dry throws. So no ball in hand, but just going through the motion of what it's like coming down the bullpen and continuing to test that knee. So like Dave Roberts has said, he is in a very good spot. They're optimistic that the next step for him is going to be a bullpen, and then once he gets through a few bullpens in the bullpen, then he does the live here on the mound, then he will be in a really good position to get himself into a game. Dave Roberts feels very confident. This is similar to what we saw last year with his buildup. It will be just at the big league level, and they feel good that if he can begin on that progression, he'll be in a really good spot come October, guys.
Up his throwing program, we saw him out on the outfield grass throwing up to 200 feet. Today, Dave Roberts said that when Shohei is ready, Jerry, he's going to be making rehab appearances, but doing it at the big league level with the Dodgers.
Rehab appearances, and that means he'll be the opener. I know he'll pitch in some sim games before the game, and making sure he's built up for being that opener at the big league level. So obviously, Shohei Ohtani's done this before. He knows what he needs to do to get ready and how to perform on the big stage. But more importantly, this tells me he's getting healthy and where he needs to be.
Yeah, it's definitely a good sign to see him to get better as he's progressing. But it'll be really interesting down the stretch. And what I mean by doing those rehab games, because now you know that they're going to be shortened using that bullpen. So it's going to rely on all these other stud pitchers that they do have to go deep in the game to make sure they back him up.
Back to Shohei for a second time. First pitch, he goes the other way. This ball is gone. And the scoreboard flips. 27th of the season for Shohei. And 5th in the last couple of weeks.
In his first at bat, Lynch said good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Strikeout looking. Well, Shohei says good night here as he actually knocks him out of the game.
Royals scored first. The Dodgers tied it. The Royals scored again in the third, and now Shohei Ohtani with a runner at second base, and that's hit high and deep to left center field, and Shohei Ohtani puts the Dodgers in front.
Well, that sinker thrown by Lynch was sunk by Shohei. Man, oh man, this guy stays inside of the ball with the best of them. Lefties, righties, it don't matter. His numbers are great against southpaws as well. That's a sinker, but when you make mistakes like that in the middle, and that's really what Daniel's doing. He's just leaving too many pitches in the middle, and Quintrero's seen enough.
And remember, in Ohtani's first at-bat, he took a sinker for a called third strike. It was lower, but the same pitch. So it's 3-2, and Daniel Lynch is coming out.
Pitch that's right down the middle, the sinker. Ohtani, look at his lower half. He gets so much power from his legs. It's amazing. And they turn, they torque, and then he keeps his valuable hands right inside that baseball and shoots it to wherever it's pitched. Like he could have pulled that if he wanted to.
You know, that thing reminds me of when I see Ohtani swing Ken Griffey Jr. and that extension that those guys get. Those guys get those. Ken Griffey Jr. used to get those arms fully extended out in front of home plate. Ohtani as well, too. He never looks like he's tied up.
Exactly. And that's part of the hips and the legs. He's able to generate so much torque with those hips. I bet I don't know if Ohtani plays golf, but I bet he'd be a great golfer. Just by looking at him swing long levers. Probably good at.
You know, and there was something I was thinking about. One, Mookie Betts and his numbers, an OPS under 700. And I just, you know, unless a guy is hurt with a track record like Mookie Betts, you're not going to keep him down for very long. The Dodgers come in having lost 8 of 9, their track record. You're not going to keep them down for very long. And the other one, too, is Shohei Ohtani. Before the home run against Daniel Lynch, who struck him out in the first inning, struck out the side in the first inning. Up until that point, before the home run in the second at bat, he was 2 for 10 in the series with 1 RBI, and I thought, can we get out of town and keep him quiet? He's Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, right, Joe. Undoubtedly the most talented player there ever has been in baseball. But, you know, it's just interesting to be here and to be able to see these guys. And you know, you would think that the Royals wouldn't have stayed in these games like they did, but, I mean, they battled, they were tough.